How is it going, Idola community? I am happy to be back at this once again. Thank you so much for your continued support. Thank you for leaving as many comments and likes as you guys have. We are actually seeing more YouTube search engine recommendations for Idola, thanks to you, not just in my content, but other Idola content as well. And that is because you guys are getting involved. You guys should really consider doing that more often, not just for me, but any other Idola content creators that you see out there. Give them some love, give them some likes. That way people can find the game that you love and enjoy. And believe me, we all know that we love this game. But since it doesn't look like Boltrend's doing much about it, we need to do it into our own hands. Let's make sure that this game lasts a little bit longer than it looking like it should. Today, we are going to go over a beginner's guide for the Idola battle system. If you're watching this randomly, Idola battle system is essentially where you get to basically go Power Ranger mode and you combine your units to make a big, terrifying looking monster, and the rest of the people on the server have to be the ones to fight and take it down. You get points for attacking other units and killing them, and you get more points the more people that your monster defeats, and then you also can fight other people's monsters and you get points for doing damage to those monsters. That's essentially Idola battle system. It's kind of closer to the in-game content of the system. I would say between Idola battle and PvP, that's the in-game content outside of the ridiculous dungeons that I think are designed for you not to be able to beat, but that's a story for a different time. So with that said, let's hop into this.
Hey, listen.
Just do it!
All right, guys, so this is what the Idola home screen looks like, guys. And the first thing you're going to notice is that you have 4 things here at the bottom. Really, you're going to be looking at the first 3 mainly. But before you do anything, guys, be sure to hit this weekly mission button, because you want to make sure that you clear everything here every single week. It'll tell you the type of unit that you need to make here, and that is primarily the thing that changes every week. You will get points, and essentially points equate to Mesta, 500,000 Mesta, 150 gems based off, and some experience, yada, 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 based off of your ability to generate Idolas. And every time your Idola dies, you can go make a new one by challenging them. Essentially, the system in this works like this. When you fight anyone, you lose one of these chances here. Each chance takes about 30 minutes to respawn. You can get items in the game that make it to where you instantaneously get more chances, both fully charged and halfway charged. So the way you can think about that is every 2 hours, you can come back into Idola and increase your ratings. Your ranking is determined based off how many points of damage you do against them. I haven't taken Idola too seriously this week, so let's look where I stand. I've been heavily involved into Illusion Connect this week. I am 520th on Idola challenge points and 947th in Idolarization points. So that's by far the lowest I have ever been, and I'm okay with that. And you can see here that at 520, I have the range of 520 to 1500. So basically the majority of the player base will fall into this category if they are active whatsoever. You'll get 70 Idola medals, which are very useful in getting the glorious Astro emblems, which allow you to go from level 80 cap to level 100 cap. Very powerful. Also gives you a shard, 650 gems, guys, and then 80,000 Mesta. Generally, the method that I'm going to show you can get you into the 200 to the 500 range pretty easily. And if you have a very dedicated time schedule to this game and you have a very strong team, which you will get there if you do have a very dedicated time struggle, you can easily get inside the top 200. I've been inside the top 200 before. Since then, I don't nearly take this game as seriously, guys. And that's just because on this channel, we cover so many different games. If this is your main game, guys, I can easily get you inside the top 200. And from there, you can fine tune your own strategy, which will adjust week to week to get inside the top 50. So what is that strategy? Well, firstly, let's go through Idola Status. This is your idolarization, which has the same type of reward system. You will see here that the last one I used was my Hydra, and it defeated 23 enemies, which isn't the best, but the higher the level you are in terms of your rating, the more likely you are to defeat less enemies. When you're first starting out and you have a strong team, dude, your Idola is going to wreak havoc. I think my largest that I've been has been able to get up to 200 kills before, but now that I'm in Elite 1, 23 to 50, pretty average for me. But let's go take a look at idolarization. Idolarization means that you're done looking at current entries worth of statistics, and here you are trying to make a new team. You will see that you get a stats boost at the top left corner, so always be sure to look at that if you want to take idolarization pretty seriously. Today's boost is the rock units. I have 2 rock units of note, actually 3, but I haven't truly worked on Barnabas in Elise and Reiner. But for the sake of this video, I'm not truly going to worry about it. You can set up your team however you want. Generally, the higher statistics that you can put in there, the higher chance you are going to have of having the best unit possible. I'm going to hit confirm and we're going to get a preview. We are guaranteed to see the first 2 information here. These generally do not change for me, given that my second team is always primarily water based. So my first team with Lise as leader gives me this rock unit in Hydra, and then my second team leader gives me water, and then the last one is randomly generated based off of your team composition. So if you have a ton of water units, you're more likely to get another water here. If you have a ton of wind, you're more likely to get a wind here. I'm going to hit idolarization, and I'm going to get somewhere between an A and an S+ based off of my statistics and a little bit of probability thrown in there. With the stat boosts, you can use that and it'll push you closer to an S+ as well. So I'm going to use the 10 Idola cores that are in my inventory to confirm this process. And here I am making my Idola. I am creating a Hydra Idola this time because it is Elise's Idola. And I had a fire. So that means that my Rosalind was selected here. So I also have an S-rated Hydra with rock, water, and fire. It'll be a very hard team, or this is a very hard Idola for the other team to make a team comp around. They are generally going to find one of these elements to target the most, or they will run a rainbow comp into me and hope that by moving one of the pegs down on my Idola, they can then use their rainbow composition to do a ton of burst damage to me. And if that doesn't make sense to you right off the bat, we will get into that here in just a second. There are a various amount of ways in which you can fight people in this game, or fight their Idola in this game. I will go through each of those right now in terms of the lowest amount of reward to the highest amount of reward. The next thing that you will notice, and I will be tempted to do, guys, is this quick challenge button here. From here, you have 2 options you can choose from. You can hit this auto select, which will automatically pick 4, and it's always the first 4. So you can go quick challenge, auto select, confirm, and let's see what my team comes out with, guys. It's automatically going to send each of these 4 battles, and it's going to give me my points totals. It's going to give me some Mesta and some Idola cores back, and it gave me 58,000 points gained back from those 4 battles. Now, we're going to refill our chances here just a little bit, and then I'm going to go through and I'm going to go quick challenge, and I'm going to mainly find someone that I want my team to fight against. I'm going to switch to my Hydro Pump team here, which is primarily making it to where that my Stella uses her EB just about every turn, and I'm going to see if I can find a fire unit, guys. Here is an A+ fire unit, and I'm going to auto select challenge it once. Now, an A+ unit is below an S unit, so just based off of that alone, I am going to lose a little bit of the maximum amount of points I can get. But because I chose a fire unit, my water units are going to do more damage to it. And as you can see, I got 10,208 by auto challenging that once. If I was to find an S tier unit that was also a fire, which I guess I could have scrolled down to see if I could find, I wasn't able to. I would have gotten more points that way. Sadly for us, the S's and the A+ in this situation outweighed our ability to do more damage. Well, here's another one. Let's give this one a try here. And now that we found an A+, let's see if we do just a little bit more damage. We did 10,499. Okay, so just a little bit more. The S's were still giving us more points there, guys. But I promise you, as a whole, picking who you're going to fight does do more for you than just randomly selecting. But in this situation, we had some okay people at the top, and they were S-rated, so we ended up getting more. So maybe that's my bad, guys. But hey, at the end of the day, it's not about me giving you the right information from my mouth as much as it is me giving you the right information in the end. At least I hope. So now we're going to come through, we're going to add chances here because we have two more methods that we could apply here, guys. Let's take this S unit with quite a bit of health remaining, guys, and let's fight it manually, and let's see how far we can get in the end here. We're going to switch over to this team here, and I'm going to change out my support here for another fire unit, since this is primarily a wind composition that we are fighting into. I'm going to let's take this level 100 flaming here from our good friend Lodrat in the Discord. He joined my guild just the other day, and I am excited to have him. Lodrat, thank you for being an active part of this community, man. Let's get you some affinity points. So now that I am here, guys, I am going to actively put it in auto. I am not going to play this out. This should, I will say, 90% of the time, this will result in us getting more points than it would if we were to just simulate it. And as this goes, your team does an okay job of using your elements to the best of their abilities. It doesn't always do the best with timing out what they do, and it definitely uses the EBs well before that I would personally use the EBs. If I was to fight a team with 3 waters, I would never change off my law team, guys. All right, guys, the battle just ended. Let us take the opportunity to see what is coming in our way in terms of points. I will also take this time to say, hey, subscribe to the channel. I don't just cover Idola, I cover multiple gachas. So if you're a gacha fan, you'll probably like the channel. I mean, maybe I try to be funny, but I fail a lot of the time, you know? These have been a little bit more serious. So guys, as you can see, when we did auto battling, we got 52,000 points for 4 attempts. And when we just put it in and we put it on auto, we got 48,000 points. Very big difference. Very big difference. So if we were to do this 4 times in a row, we would be more than tripling our return for 4 uses of our stamina. Now, guys, we're going to try to beat that once more just by using our brain. Let's do this on our own. I don't know that we can fight this Gemini again for this example, because we would actually kill it if we did it on our own. So let's see if we can find another. This one's good enough. This Gemini right here is good enough for us. We're going to go take our friend Lodrat again. His Flamey is really good for this one. Or we could take this Flamey right here. Now let's take our friend Gazer here. I do want to use an Avenger whenever I can. Avengers are really good for fire units. We're going to take it off auto the second we get in here, hopefully, so no attacks go through. And I'm going to do what I can to narrate this for you guys, so you can get a little bit of an idea of at least what I think about through this process. If you are watching this and you know a lot more about the system than me, feel free to tell me how I could have improved this. This isn't about me looking like a genius. This is about helping people, so feel free to do just that, guys. I am not going to put duplication out there at the beginning of this. I want to save it just a little bit for when we can build up to do additional damage. Okay, we're going to take a second here. We could put Rosalind into her counter stance, or we could heal in this situation. But our goal is to get one of these units to this line right here. So what we are going to do is we think we can get them to this line right here in about 2 to 3 turns. So we're just going to auto attack once again here. And now that Rosalind is at her EB, we are going to go ahead and use that. It will apply Hellfire. It will do an insane amount of DPS around the board. And then we are also going to try to keep this Gemini's mana pool right here below the 10, so it cannot use its ultimate against us next turn. We will go ahead and apply duplication to Windus, and Lisa over here is having a hard time generating proper mana, which is okay in the end. So we are going to head and heal up self-cure here. We do see that they are about to do as much damage as possible, so we are going to put Rosalind in defensive stance, and we are going to apply Ice Pop Squall so we can extend the buff of Rosalind. We will put Lise in Dance of War. That way, all of our other units will have additional power as well. Unfortunately for us, they decided not. Oh, here comes their ultimate. It was in the last, and it actually wiped out our Lise. There wasn't much we could do about that. We're going to go ahead and use this attack here. We are going to hopefully get them down. Yes, we just popped their ability, and so now they're going to fall to the ground. We are going to use Summer Windus's ult as well as Rosalind's ultimate here. and do as much damage as we possibly could while they are down. Now, for the remaining time, we actually are in a very fragile state against this team with this ultimate about to pop, given that we have 2 rather low fire units at the moment. So we're going to go ahead and reverse rush for this turn, and then next turn we can apply the most amount of damage we possibly can with that team, which honestly won't be that high because we don't have all of the mana maxed out, but we can apply Summer Stella's ult, which will do a widespread AoE. We will apply Campers, which will A3 here, which will do damage based off of our mana pool. We will apply a buff so that Stella can do more, and then we'll just have homegirl Popo just auto attack, because getting more mana on the last turn doesn't really mean anything for us. And the results are in the battle break. We did 198 total damage, and we got 46,495, guys. So it is a slight improvement in the end over our original team. We could have squeaked out a little bit more if we were to take Lise out and put in another fire unit, or we were to use Sasha instead of Lise here and have her defense also help mitigate our team. Lise against this team comp didn't actually do a lot because we were unable to get Popo's ultimate going to gain more mana for Lise to use her ultimate and her A3. Generally, Lise is better on a secondary team for the way that I play the game, but still, the point still remains, even with me not optimizing my situation, I still beat out the damage, if only slightly, like 10% of auto battling. So that'll do it for how exactly you can go about getting the most points out of Idola battle and idolarization. Be sure to stay on this. Again, every 2 hours you should be checking in if you want to get the most out of this game. Obviously, that isn't very sustainable in the middle of the night, so don't let this consume your life, guys. Do what you can, make the most of it, and just try it. This is more of an activity check than anything else at the end of the day. So take it as heavily as you want to. I'm okay getting a moderate amount of gem increases. As you can see, if I was to work my tail off and get back inside the top 200, which I know that my team is capable of, I would get 1,000 star gems and 200,000 Mesta, an additional 20 emblems. So a difference of 350 star diamonds and 120,000 Mesta, and it'll probably be a considerable amount of stress and time taken from my day. So I've decided that for my own schedule that this range is fairly healthy for me. I'm not too worried about it. You decide for you. You make the most for your own decision. If you want to see what you are capable of, guys, that is how you apply it. I already got inside the top 500 just by doing this video. So that's good news for us, guys. That'll do it for me. Be sure to like, subscribe, and keep tuning in, guys. I'll see you soon. Peace.